Configuring Query Store for Azure SQL Scale-Up is a straightforward process that involves several key steps. To begin, Query Store is a feature in Azure SQL that captures and stores query performance data, allowing for more efficient troubleshooting and optimization. First, ensure that Query Store is enabled on your Azure SQL database. This can be done by navigating to the Azure portal, selecting your database, and then clicking on Query Store under the Intelligent Performance section. From here, toggle the switch to enable Query Store. Next, configure the data retention and capture policies for Query Store. The data retention policy determines how long query data is stored, while the capture policy determines which queries are captured. For most use cases, the default settings will suffice, but these can be adjusted based on specific needs. After enabling and configuring Query Store, it is essential to understand how to use the collected data to optimize query performance. The Query Store dashboard in the Azure portal provides a wealth of information, including top resource-consuming queries, query performance trends, and wait statistics. To scale up Azure SQL using Query Store, start by identifying the most resource-intensive queries, which can be done by examining the top resource-consuming queries section of the Query Store dashboard. Once identified, use the query wait statistics to determine the primary bottleneck for each query, such as CPU, memory, or disk usage. Based on this analysis, adjust the Azure SQL service tier and performance level to better match the workload requirements. For example, if the primary bottleneck is CPU, consider upgrading to a higher performance level or service tier with more CPU resources. Best practices for configuring Query Store include regularly reviewing query performance data to identify trends and areas for optimization, using the query wait statistics to pinpoint bottlenecks, and adjusting the data retention and capture policies as needed to balance data collection with storage constraints. By following these steps and best practices, you can effectively configure Query Store for Azure SQL Scale-Up, leading to improved query performance, reduced latency, and increased overall efficiency of your Azure SQL database.